Hello and welcome. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. Today's practice will be a bit more of heat building, kind of trying to energize the body a little bit. So if that's what you're looking for, you came to the right place today. If you are ready, we'll go ahead and begin. We'll begin flat on our backs, bringing the palms of our feet to the mat here. And taking a second or two to center ourselves on the mat, finding some good posture, and bringing some awareness to our breath, taking those nice big inhales and complete exhales as we get ready for this practice today. And the next time we come into an inhale, we'll send our arms up overhead, bringing our biceps to our ears. And as we exhale, drawing our knees in towards our chest, bringing the palms of our hands to the tops of our knees. As we inhale in, pressing our knees just slightly away from our body. Exhale, drawing our knees back in towards our chest here. Repeating that motion, inhaling in as we send the knees away. Exhale as we draw our knees in towards our chest. Taking those big inhales and complete exhales. And the next time we find ourselves coming into an inhale, we'll keep pressing those knees all the way away until they're resting comfortably on the mat. Sending our arms out to a T and walking our feet so they're just slightly further than hip distance apart. We'll take a big inhale in. And as we exhale, dropping both of our knees to the left side of the floor. Inhaling in, we'll come back through center. And exhale as we drop to the right side of the floor, and again repeating this kind of windshield wiper motion here with our legs. Inhaling to the center, exhaling to the sides, taking our time here. And the next time we find ourselves with our knees dropped over to that left side, we'll hold there just about one breath cycle. And then after that breath cycle, inhaling to the center, and exhale as we drop to the right side to hold for one breath cycle over there as well. And then on an inhale, coming back to the center, walking our feet back into alignment with our hips, and on a big inhale and sending those arms up overhead. And as we exhale, drawing our knees back in towards our chest. And then bringing the palms of our hands to the backs of our thighs. As we inhale, and we'll straighten our legs, sending our feet up towards the ceiling, straightening our legs only as far as they are willing to go today. On the exhale, bending our knees, drawing them back in towards our chest. Inhaling in, straightening those legs, feet up towards the ceiling. Exhale as we bring the feet back in, knees back in towards the chest. Repeating that motion here. Inhale as the feet go up. Maybe seeing if you can straighten your legs a little bit more each time if comfortable. Exhaling as we draw down. One more time. Inhaling and we'll send those feet up. Exhale, bringing those feet back down, knees in towards our chest. And then bringing the palms of our hands just the back of the right thigh now. As we inhale in, straightening that left leg again, sending that left foot up towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, sending that left leg down until it's resting comfortably on the mat. And then bringing the palm of our right hand to the inside of that right knee. As we inhale, and we'll send that right knee off to the right side. Exhale, bringing the right knee back to center, grounding through that left sit bone here, keeping that left sit bone planted. Inhale, sending the right knee off to the right side. Exhale, back to center. And this time as we inhale, setting that right knee off, seeing if perhaps we'd like to try straightening that right leg here. Exhale, bending the knee, bringing the knee back to center. This time on the inhale, setting that right knee off again, seeing if we'd like to straighten the leg. If not, keeping that knee bent in spine, but we'll hold here just for a little bit. And on the next exhale, bending that knee, bringing that knee back to center. And then returning the palm of that right foot to the mat and bringing our left foot up to join it. Inhaling and sending our arms up overhead, biceps to our ears. And as we exhale, drawing our knees back into our chest. And then again, bringing the palms of our hands to the backs of our thighs. Inhaling and sending those feet up towards the ceiling here, straightening the legs as far as they are willing to go, as far as is comfortable. Exhale, bringing the feet back down. Repeating that a few times here, again, following your own breath, your own pace, taking our time. And the next time we find ourselves with our knees tucked in, with our feet down, we'll pause there. And then bringing the palms of our hands to the back of that left thigh. As we inhale and sending that right foot up towards the ceiling, straightening that leg as much as we are comfortable. And on the exhale, sending that right leg down till it's resting comfortably on the mat now. Grounding through that right sit bone here. Bringing the palm of our left hand to the inside of that left knee. As we inhale and sending the left knee off to the left side. Exhale, bringing that knee back to center. Again, inhale as we send the knee off to the side. Exhaling back to center. This time as we open up on that inhale, seeing if you'd like to straighten that leg, perhaps lift legs as far as our walls are willing us. And on the exhale, bringing the foot back in, knee back to center. This time inhaling and sending that knee off to the side, straightening that leg if you would like, and holding there, or we can hold here with a bent knee. Taking that big inhale. And on our next exhale, coming back to center. And then planting that left palm to the mat, right foot up to join it. Left palm of the foot, right palm of the foot up to join it. As we inhale in, we'll send our hips up towards the ceiling, sending our arms up overhead as well. Exhale, returning the hips to the mat, bringing our hands back down to our sides. Inhaling and sending the hips up, arms go up. Exhale as our hips melt back down towards the mat, bringing our hands back to the sides. One more time here, big inhale in, setting those hips up towards the ceiling, arms up overhead, biceps to ears. And exhale, returning our hips to the mat, bringing our hands down to our sides. This time as we inhale and setting just our arms up overhead, biceps to ears. And as we exhale, drawing our knees in towards our chest, bringing the palms of our hands to the tops of our knees. As we inhale, and we'll press our knees away slightly. And exhale, drawing our knees back in towards our chest. And again, repeating this motion here a few times, following your own breath, your own pace. Inhaling as we press away. Exhaling as we draw the knees back in. And the next time we find ourselves coming into an inhale, as we press those knees away, we'll keep pressing all the way away until our feet are resting comfortably on the mat. And then picking a side, whichever side feels the best to you in this moment to roll onto, we will roll onto that side. And just take a breath or two here. And then when we are ready, we will press ourselves up, coming into a nice, comfortable, seated position. Perhaps removing our socks if our feet are hot. And finding some comfort here in a seated position. If you're noticing when you come to a cross-legged position, your knees are drawing up or you're having a hard time finding some good posture through the back, perhaps bringing a blanket or a pillow or something under your hips to help get your hips above your knees might help you find a little bit of comfort. So if you have that around, I invite you to use that. Rolling those shoulders forward, up, and back here, drawing our shoulder blades down and back towards each other at the bottom there, the bottom points, finding that good posture here. As we inhale in, we'll send our arms up, fingertips toward the ceiling. And as we exhale, reaching over to the left side here, bringing our left fingertips towards the mat. Inhaling, we'll come back to center. Exhale, reaching over to the right side, right fingertips to the mat, keeping both those sit bones grounded. Inhaling in, we'll come up to center, back to center, fingertips towards the ceiling. And as we exhale, hinging at the hips, bending forward just slightly here, keeping those hips planted into the mat, those sit bones into the mat, and then inhale, coming back to center. Exhale, coming over to the left fingertips to the mat, holding here. Inhaling, and we'll come back to center, fingertips towards the ceiling. Exhale, leaning over to that right side here, nice stretch through that left side, holding here. And then inhaling in, coming back to center, fingertips towards the ceiling. And again, as we exhale, hinging at the hips, just a little bit of a forward fold here, not going too far, keeping nice and straight through the back body, straight through the back of the neck. And then inhaling, we'll come back to center and relaxing our hands to our knees. This next movement that we're going to do right now, we will also be coming back to it later, but from our bellies. So we'll do it now though, where we can see each other. So it's a little bit easier than trying to turn your head while you're on your belly. So bringing our arms out here to some goalpost arms, those elbows at about 90-degree angle, shoulders nice and straight here, and doing our best to keep our wrist in line with this elbow. And we're really drawing our shoulder blades back towards each other. So we have a lot of kind of tension, a lot of working muscles through our upper back here. As we inhale in, we'll straighten our arms, bringing our biceps to our ears. And as we exhale, bending the elbows, opening back up into those goalpost arms, maybe glancing to make sure our wrists are staying in line the best they can. Inhaling as we send the arms up. Exhale, opening up to our goalpost arms. One more time, we'll inhale, sending those fingertips towards the ceiling, biceps to ears. And exhale, opening back up. And then relaxing. Shaking it out maybe. Bringing the palms of our hands to our knees now. As we inhale and pulling our chest forward just slightly here, sending our gaze slightly towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding our back, sending our gaze towards the floor. Repeating this motion here a few times, following your own breath, your own pace. And the next time we find ourselves coming through that center position, we'll find that moment of pause. And then making our way onto our hands and knees, coming into a tabletop position. And finding our comfortable tabletop, seeing where our hands feel the best, where our knees feel the best, tops of our feet pressing into the mat. And as we inhale in, raising our tailbone and crown of our head towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding our back, melting forehead, tailbone towards the mat. Again, moving through this a few times here, following your own breath, your own pace. And the next time we find ourselves coming through that center neutral position, we'll find that moment of pause. Taking a big inhale in. And as we exhale, stepping our left foot up to replace our left palm, coming into that low lunge. Big inhale in here. And as we exhale, curling those back toes, straightening that left knee, sending our hips back towards that right heel just a little bit, keeping that left foot planted. And inhaling, we'll come back to front. Taking a big exhale, nice complete exhale. And another big inhale. And on this exhale, we'll lift that back knee and step that back foot up just a little bit here. Inhaling and swooping our fingertips forward, up and back, coming into our high lunge here. And then relaxing our hands at our sides. Taking a big inhale in, sending those fingertips up, biceps to our ears. And as we exhale, again, hinging at the hips here, keeping a nice straight back as we forward fold just slightly. Inhaling and bringing ourselves back up. And as we exhale, pivoting on that back foot. So that back foot is in line with that short edge of the mat, arms out to our warrior two arms. Inhaling and pivoting back towards the front, those back toes. And exhale, hinging here at the waist, a little bit of a forward fold, biceps to our ears. Inhaling as we come back up. Exhale again, opening up to that warrior two here. Inhaling in, coming back to front, sending our fingertips towards ceiling, biceps to ears. And on the exhale again, finding that hinge movement at our hips. Bit of a forward fold here. We'll hold. Big inhales, complete exhales, pressing through that back heel, pressing through all four corners of that left foot. And then inhaling in, we'll come back up. And then exhale, opening up to our warrior two. Again, holding here for a couple of breaths. Hips squaring toward that long end of the mat, pressing through the outside of that right foot. Fingertips just past those left fingertips. Gaze just past those left fingertips. And then on that next inhale, pivoting back towards the front. Again, sending those fingertips up towards the ceiling, biceps to ears. And as we exhale, bringing our chest to the top of that left thigh, planting our palms. And coming here to the top of our plank. And if you'd like to stay up here on your toes, I invite you to do so. You're also welcome to drop to your knees. Whatever feels the best for you today, keeping those palms of our hands right underneath our underarm points there. We'll take a big inhale in. And as we exhale, tucking our elbows in and slowly lowering ourselves down till we're resting comfortably on the mat. Forehead resting into the mat. Tops of our feet pressing into the mat here as well. Taking a couple of breaths. And now here again, opening our arms out. So sending our arms out to those goalpost arms from earlier. This time allowing our arms to hover about an inch or two off of the floor. Forehead will stay pressed into the mat, doing our best to keep our wrists and elbows in alignment still. And as we inhale in, sending those arms up overhead. Exhale, bending the elbows, coming back into goalpost arms. Inhaling in, sending the arms up overhead. Exhale, coming into those goalpost arms. One more time. Big inhale as we send those arms up. Exhale, goalpost arms. And then relaxing the arms, bringing the palms of our hands back to underneath our underarms. We'll take a big inhale in. And as we exhale, pressing ourselves up and back, coming into a child's pose of our choosing, whether we'd like to have our knees open wide, our knees together, or our arms walked out overhead, or bringing the palms of our hands to our elbows, making a little pillow to rest our head, wherever we are comfortable. I invite you to go there and take a couple of nice big inhales and complete exhales. And then inhaling in, we'll bring ourselves back up, coming into that tabletop position. Once again, onto our hands and knees. As we inhale in, scooping our tailbone and crown of our head towards the ceiling. And exhale, rounding our back, melting forward and tailbone towards the mat, moving through this a few times. Following your own breath, your own pace. And the next time we find ourselves coming through that neutral center position, we'll find that moment of pause. Taking a big inhale in. And as we exhale, stepping that right foot up to replace our right hand to the outside of that right foot. Big inhale in. And as we exhale, curling those back toes, straightening that right knee, sending our hips back towards that left heel, keeping that right foot planted. Inhaling and coming back to center. And taking a big complete exhale here. Big inhale in. And as we exhale, lifting that back knee, stepping that back foot up, maybe just slightly here. And as we inhale, swooping those fingertips forward, up and back, a little bit of back bend here. And then relaxing, bringing our hands to our sides. Inhaling in, sending those fingertips up towards our ceiling, biceps to ears. And as we exhale, hinging at the hips, staying nice and straight through the back here. Inhaling in, we'll come back up. And exhale, opening up into our warrior two. Inhaling in, coming back to the front, biceps to ears. Exhale, finding that little bit of a hinge forward here. Inhaling in, we'll come back up. Exhale, opening up into a warrior two. Inhaling in this time, coming up to the front, biceps to ears. And as we exhale, hinging at the hips and holding here. Again, keeping those biceps to our ears, pressing through all four corners of that right foot, pressing through that back heel. Big inhales, complete exhales. And then inhaling and coming back up. And exhales, we open up to that warrior two. Hips square towards that long end of the mat, that foot now parallel to the short ends of the mat. And our gaze just past those right fingertips, breathing here. Nice big inhales and complete exhales. Inhaling in, we'll pivot back towards the front, biceps to ears, and exhale, bringing our chest to the top of that right thigh, planting our palms, stepping our right foot back, coming into that top of the plank. And again, deciding if we'd like to do our plank from our toes or coming down onto our knees. I'm going to add a little bit of an extra little bonus on this one. So yeah, here we go. We'll take a big inhale in, and as we exhale, again, slowly lowering down so you're about an inch or two off the mat. If you'd like to continue bringing your chest down to the mat, I invite you to do that. For a little bit more of those, we take a big inhale in, we can press ourselves back up, coming into that top of our plank again. Finding a complete exhale, big inhale in, and exhale. This time we'll lower all the way down, and we'll all meet with our foreheads pressing into the mat here, taking a couple of breaths, catching our breath. And then sending our arms out to those goalpost arms. Once again, keeping that wrist and elbow in line as much as we can with our forehead melting into the mat. Really allowing yourself to feel this movement. So instead of tilting your head this time, to check to see if your elbow and wrists are in line, just feel for it. Do the best you can. So having those arms at those goalpost arms as we inhale in, sending our arms up overhead. Exhale, opening back up. Goalpost arms, finding that 90-degree angle. Inhaling in, arms go up. Exhale as we come back to goalpost arms. Inhaling in, sending our arms up overhead one more time. And exhale, coming back to those goalpost arms. And then relaxing, bringing the palms of our hands underneath our elbows. Our underarms. Take a big inhale in. And as we exhale, pressing ourselves up and back, coming in to that child's pose of our choosing. Once again here, taking a couple of breaths. And then inhaling in, we'll bring ourselves back up, coming into that tabletop once again. And working through a few more cat-cows here. Inhaling in as tailbone and crown of our head towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding our back, melting tailbone and forehead towards the mat. Continuing this motion here a few times. Following your own breath, your own pace. And the next time we find ourselves coming through that center position, we'll find that moment of pause. And then crossing our ankles, we'll press ourselves back, coming into a seated position, centering our sit bones on our mat. We'll work down to the mat, this time working through some boat poses. One last little core check here before we start our cool down. Bringing the palms of our feet to the mat, finding about a 90-degree angle here in our knees, rolling the shoulders forward and back so we can get the palms of our hands or fingertips to the mat behind us. If this is your boat pose today, this is a fantastic boat pose. I invite you to stay here. Another option would be to bring our hands out to the sides or palms facing up here, kind of by our knees. And again, if this is where you would like to stay, I invite you to stay here. For a little more yet, we can lift those shins so they're parallel to the floor. And for even a little more yet, if we are so inclined, we can straighten our knees. Ooh, feeling that shake. Wherever we are at, we'll lower down to the mat to a count of 10 with a pause at 3. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Holding here. Taking those nice big inhales. Complete exhales. Feeling that shake moving through our body. Enjoying it, loving it. And then 2, 1. Relaxing. Bringing the palms of our feet to the mat here. Again, finding our posture, maybe adjusting our clothes. Taking a couple of breaths as we begin to cool ourselves down. When we come to our next inhale, we'll send our arms up overhead, biceps to our ears. And exhaling, drawing our knees back in towards our chest, bringing the palms of our hands to the tops of our knees. As we inhale and pressing our knees away from our body slightly. Exhale, drawing our knees back in towards our chest. Moving through that a few times here. Following your own breath, your own pace. Taking our time. And the next time we find ourselves coming into an inhale, as we're pressing the knees away from our body, we'll send our arms up overhead this time. Exhale, bringing the knees back in, palms of our hands to our knees. And again, repeating that motion here. Inhale as the arms go up, knees go away. Exhale as we draw everything back towards the center. And if this is where you would like to stay for the day, I invite you to stay there. For a little bit more on the inhales, we can send the feet up towards the ceiling as the arms go up overhead. Exhale, drawing back to center. Again, moving through this a few times, following your own breath, your own pace. Wherever we are at, we'll take one more big inhale as the arms go out, either legs up or just knees away. And exhaling, coming back to center. Inhaling in, sending our knees all the way away until our feet are resting comfortably on the mat. Hands at our sides. Feet about hip distance apart. When we come into our next inhale, sending our hips up towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. Exhale, hips come back to the mat. Hands return to our sides. Moving through this just a few more times here. Inhaling as the hips go up, arms overhead. Exhaling as hips return, arms return to our sides. Doing this motion again here, inhaling, hips up, arms up. Exhale, returning to the mat. One more time here, big inhale as we send those hips up towards the ceiling, arms up overhead. And exhale, returning our hips to the mat, hands returning to our sides as well. This time keeping the hips planted into the mat. We'll take that inhale as we send our arms up overhead. And exhale as we draw our knees in towards our chest, bringing the palms of our hands to the tops of our knees. As we inhale in, sending our knees away from our body slightly. Exhale, drawing our knees back in towards our chest. Taking our time here. Inhaling as we send the knees away. Exhale as we draw them back in. And the next time we find ourselves coming into that inhales or pressing the knees away, we'll send the knees all the way away until our feet are resting comfortably on the mat. And then doing what we need to do to find our comfort here today. On the mat, fixing our clothes, maybe bringing a blanket or a pillow under our head, or perhaps rolling something up to bring under our knees if you'd like to send our legs out long. Perhaps we'd like to keep our knees bent here with the palms of our feet pressing into the mat. Or perhaps we'd like to send our legs out long, either bringing our hands to our sides or resting on our belly, wherever we are the most comfortable. We'll do a quick full body scan, seeing if maybe there's anywhere we're holding on to a little bit of extra tension, and doing our best to allow that tension to melt away. even if it's just for the few minutes that we're resting here today. Feeling our shoulder blades as they melt into the mat, relaxing our feet, relaxing our hands, shoulders melting away from our ears, unfurrowing our brow, closing our eyes if we're comfortable to do so, or perhaps softening our gaze if we would prefer. Relaxing our jaw, allowing our tongue to move away from the roof of our mouth, and allowing our breathing to return to its nice, natural resting state as we lay here breathing and resting for the next several minutes. The video will end here, but I encourage you to stay here resting for the next few minutes, for as many minutes as you have. I invite you to do so. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Namaste.